Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought on another fantastic guest. But before we move on to him, please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. And I'm gonna probably start doing these a little bit more regularly. So, without further ado, let's bring on our guest, Mr. Mike Jimmy. How are you doing, Mike?
Yeah, doing all right. Getting by as usual. Busy as always.
Busy as always. That's
Always
exactly
busy.
right.
Oh yeah.
Always busy. Yep. All right. So, Mike, we've done one of these already. So I know we've gone through all the basic questions. We're not going to go into that. We're going to probably just talk a little bit more about your campaign that's currently running, some of the process stuff, and then we'll get into some other stuff. So we're just going to get into all the stuff, right? So, tell me, um, Life on Korra #5, right? Now, how has this book become your life's passion?
Um, it it worked. With Love and Core One, I had no idea what I was doing. It was just let's make a true fantasy. And from that it evolved into a really big sci-fi thing with a lot of world building in the background. But I went to conventions with Love and Core One, and it was an instant hit with people. Like I had instantly had people like, when is issue 2 coming out? And from there I was like, yeah, how can I stop something that's working this well? With my first published comic.
Mm-hmm.
And from there it was just like the original writer left after issue 2. He didn't really write on issue 2. That's mostly me, to be honest. But I was out of the ideas because I suck at thinking up stories.
Okay.
So tried finding one new writer. I found 2, and they have just been supplying me with all this awesome stuff. And I was like, yeah, well, you know what? This is my sandbox. Go play around in it. And yeah, from there it's just growing and growing, and it's incredible how much we did in 4 years. Um, yeah, it's working. So why stop?
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Now, let me ask you a question. So you've been doing it for 4 years, right? More or less, right? You're doing what, a book a year, roughly?
Um, we did Love and Quarter 1 in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
Love and Quarter 2 in 2020, and then 3, 4, and 5 in 2021. So we've been setting up the pace. It helps that I found a colorist after issue 3.
Right.
And yeah, this year I want to get up to issue 10. So 5 I finished just before the new year, and this year I want to get 5 issues out.
Right.
If we'll make it, we'll see. But
Right.
that is my goal.
No, that's a good goal to have, man. That's ambitious. That's cool. I like that. Because it's a lot of work, but it's fun, and it's the type of work that's very fulfilling.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, you said you found a colorist. So I mean, how's that working out with your colorist?
Well, right now she's just doing the normal 8 pages a month like we used to.
Right.
And if already told her, if we have to go up to 16 pages a month, which I at some point want to, then you're going to get more pay, but I'm also going to get you a flatter. But the money needs to reflect that. I can push out pages as much as I want, but someone has to get paid, and as long as the numbers don't add up, I got to keep my side job.
Right.
And that barely covers her, and the other projects that I'm working on, and that my team is working on. So yeah, it's really depending on the financial stuff right now. But I'm not gonna stop. So it's just gonna grow from here.
Mm-hmm. So there you have it, folks. The man needs money. Go to Life on Korra.
It matters. It really helps.
The link is in the show notes, so click on it. and head on over to IGG and go get yourself some books.
Get
Oh, and there
yourself a
you go.
plushie.
There you go. Get yourself a plushie. Very nice. Very nice. So, I mean, seeing as like, so you're working on Life of Korra. You had said you have other projects in the pipe. So, I mean, what are some of those other projects, and like, what's your involvement in them? Are you writing them, drawing them?
So currently we have the Radiant site where I'm
Hmm.
only the editor and the letterer.
Okay.
That is a completely new creative team with a new artist. He's from India. He prefers to just go by Arch, and we
Hmm.
respect him for that. And he
Right.
does a wonderful job. You know, it's a Korean drama inspired romance.
Hmm.
We ran a campaign for that on Indiegogo, and it flopped. I'm gonna put it to Kickstarter after this.
Hmm.
But right now, you know, I gotta focus on Love and Korra. This is the one that I know will work.
Right.
So you know, we gotta. Um, I only have so much energy, so I really have to um,
Focus.
focus and get in. And like once Love and Korra, you know, the campaign is over,
Hmm.
that is gonna go right over to Kickstarter, and we're gonna, you know, do it again there. Then we have Max Neko, which the other writer for Lava Korra is writing.
Hmm.
So the Radiant Side is by Martin Fisher, who did Lava Korra 3 and 5. And then Kimberly Kovac, who did Lava Korra 4 and 6, which I'm currently drawing,
Hmm.
um, who is working on Max Neko, which is going to be a graphic novel series of probably 4 parts of 48 pages each. May still have to look for an artist for that one, or I draw it myself. We'll see. About a art thieving cat. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's right down, you know, the whole thing that I like to read and you know get out. So you know, looking forward to that one. She's slowly working on it. Um, and I want to relaunch working on Sage's Sunset, which is a comic that I started it with, um, which already has 110 pages drawn out over on Tapas, free to read, but it's on hiatus and it has been since 2019.
Right.
But it is itching. I need that personal, you know, magnum opus out of the way.
Hmm. No, I got you. I got you. Trust me, I have two or three of those myself.
Yeah, you're just writing. I gotta draw all that shit too.
No, I know, I know, I know, I know. And I got you. I feel you. But I know what it's like to have to get out all that stuff. You're like, I got to get out of my system. You know, it's always rough.
Mhm.
Uh, so so here's a question for you. So you know, it's early in the new year, 2022, right? It's kind of hard to believe we're even here, and the first month is almost over,
Oh
which is
yeah,
crazy. You know, so what was your greatest accomplishment in 2021?
I think that was Love and Korra 4. Like,
Mm,
I really love how that comic turned out. It has some of the best pages I've drawn, even after Love and Korra 5. Um, and yeah, like everyone involved on that, like the writer, the colorist, and myself, just all went, yeah, this is really, really good stuff that we got here. You
mm,
know, this is something that I'm I think I'm going to be proud of for quite a few years. Like it's definitely one of my favorite books um, of my own, but also that I've read as it went.
right.
Um, and yeah, it was just a big achievement. Now we got five, and I mean, how many indies can say they went up to five?
It's true.
Um, yeah, like it's insane. That's why I went a little bit overboard with the campaign as well. But
Mm,
I got to celebrate a bit.
yeah.
But yeah, no, like four is definitely one that is gonna stick with me for a long time.
Mm,
And yeah, like, and I know there, like, with the scripts that I have laying ready
mhm.
for the coming year, like there is some really good stuff coming. But yeah, for 2021, Love of Korra 4 was the big one.
Mhm. Hold on. So I've been popping these up as we've been talking.
Yeah, no, of course.
Five is
Thanks,
really
dude.
hard. Carlos says, I'm at work, but saying hi. Enjoy, guys. Thanks, Carlos. Uh, Nita,
Aw,
she has to go to dinner. Enjoy, Nita.
bon
Yeah,
appetit.
exactly. She's in Italy, so she's eating
Yeah.
well. So, good
Oh,
food.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeesh. You know. All right. So here's the flip side of that question I just asked you, right? So what is the issue you struggled with the most in 2021 concerning comics creation?
My side job. Like, from June to September, we were really short on people. And, I'm a hired force. So, I'm easy. If I'm not needed, I'm not needed. But if I'm needed, I get scheduled.
Mhm.
But um, yeah, from June to September, they set me up for 4, 5, or 6 days a week.
Oof. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, so I couldn't get anything done on Lab of Coral 5, and originally I wanted it slated for September,
Hmm.
and get going on that. So I had to hire a storyboard artist, so I could at least get something done on the comic,
Hmm.
but I couldn't work on it.
Right.
So yeah, that completely broke me. I had a week off in the middle, took a cycling trip, but that was literally the only time off I had at that time. And
Hmm.
yeah, it just completely broke me up. So
Gotcha.
yeah, comic creation wise, yeah, I did pretty good, but
Hmm.
the fact that I had to work beside it, yeah, that ruined me essentially. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still feeling burned out from it.
Hmm. Right. Right. No, no, I got you. I work a day job. It's not fun. You just gotta.
No,
It's just one of those. It's just a grind. You gotta get through.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm supposed to work tomorrow, but we're hoping a snowstorm comes in and that'll that. Like snowstorm, go. It's,
Here's to the weather. Oh my god.
exactly. It's just like go snowstorm. Yeah, it's terrible when you feel that way about your day job. I mean, it's not bad. It's just boring. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
mean,
mm,
like my side job is really fun. I work with great people.
mhm,
You always have something new every day because you're a mover. You get old people, you get young couples, you get really rich folk
mhm.
that literally live in villas that you need three trucks to empty.
Wow. Mhm,
Yeah, it's insane sometimes.
mhm.
And yeah, like it's a lot of fun, but on the other hand, like there is no passion for me in there. And all day, every day, I'm just thinking about like, okay, but when I get home from work, I gotta promote this and I gotta work on
Right.
that, and I
Mhm.
need to reply to this guy. It's um, I'm never, I can't be working with my head when I'm there, simply
Right.
because there's so much low and like there's so much on my shoulders back here.
Literally. Right.
Yeah,
Literally on your
yeah, like
uh,
my arms are lifting, but the head is like miles away.
right, right, right. And you have to have the head somewhere there because you don't want to get crushed.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's always the thing. So this is what your seventh campaign or your eighth campaign?
On Indiegogo, yes, I've done a couple of Kickstarters before. Because um, I've done a campaign for Infinite Guardian on
Mm-hmm.
Kickstarter, for Over a Coffee, the anthology that you can see right
Mm-hmm.
there behind me.
Gotcha.
Um, and for writing Flying Words, writing anthology, and then My Cup of Tea we did only on Indiegogo and did pretty well there. But yeah, like I've been around the block. I think I've done like 12 at this point.
Okay. So let me ask you, like, what's your biggest takeaway? Like, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from doing all of those campaigns?
Nobody cares about it as much as you do.
Mm, gotcha. Gotcha.
Like, especially with the anthologies, like we had people working on it that had like tens of thousands of followings
Mm-hmm.
on Tapas and on Webtoons, who could have easily just made a little ad on their campaign, on their Webtoon, like, "Hey, we're doing this. If you want a special comic by us, go over here to Kickstarter."
Mm-hmm.
We got none of that. It was all us. It was a grind.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, it seems like it's one of those things where it's like, because I've had this conversation with other people, right? So like, I don't know, do you? Well, yeah, you have alternative covers, right, to your
Yeah.
stuff. So you're hiring people to do these alternative covers, right? So let me ask you, do you expect those people who do those alternative covers to help you out with the promotion?
I ask them nicely.
Mm,
I don't expect anything. I
right.
just hope they will. And I tag them in stuff, and they usually retweet or share that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I can't expect them to do the job that I set up to do.
Right.
I can only appreciate it when they help out.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Um, and that's pretty much like with every job I've had so far. Like it's my job, so I'm supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm. No, I got you. So let me ask you this question: do you think it'd be reasonable? I don't know if you draw up contracts for covers or whatever, or do you think it'd be reasonable for you to ask before you contracted them to do a cover? Say, listen, I'm going to need you to help me out with a little bit of a push on this. Do you think that would be reasonable for you to do?
Oh, I do, and usually they're like, yeah, sure, I'll definitely help out, and then you get a share here and there, but I
Right.
can't expect them to share as much as I do.
Right.
They're just not as involved, so
Mhm.
it, it,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they don't do as much.
Mhm. Gotcha. 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 Now, in that sphere of not everyone liking it as much or being as involved as you are, what's the part of it that's maybe surprised you a little bit where people have come out to help you? Like, have you had that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, but that's usually from promoters, not from the creators. Like I
Mm,
asked, they're
gotcha.
busy on their own thing. Like that's fine.
Hmm.
But yeah, like people like Pops or Nita,
Hmm.
just coming over and like, check this out,
Right.
and helping me out.
Hmm.
Um, you don't expect that, and
Right.
and that is definitely something that you start to appreciate more and more the longer you do it, and you can't do it without them.
Right. Right. Yeah, it definitely does. It is very, very helpful. So your toy Etsy, that's the plush
Yeah, Etsy, yeah,
Etsy.
from
So yeah. So I mean, I know we discussed it a little bit the last time. I want to get into that a little bit. Like, so how did you come about getting that made? Because I know there are a lot of indie creators. They love, we all love making tchotchkes of our stuff. So it's like, and that's not even a tchotchke. That's like a thing. So I
yes,
mean,
yes.
how did you go about getting that made? I mean, what was your process?
So I mean, Etsy is a character that I can literally draw like in 2 seconds, and
Mhm.
people recognize her. Um, and yeah, like it made sense. Like people really stuck with Love and Coral One. It really made an impact on people, and people really recognized the characters in there.
Mhm.
And so I was like, yeah, if I want a plushie of from Love and Cora, that should be the first one because people really recognize it, and people really want um, more of that character. But it's simply not in my head yet. There are ideas swirling around, but it's coming around.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then I was like, okay, so how are we going to do this? I knew I had to go through Chinese manufacturing because literally every person, like every company I contacted that would do, manufacturing was like, yeah, we need a minimum order of 250
Right.
because we get them made in China.
China.
So,
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut out the middleman then, you
Right.
know. get lost. This is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I went to Alibaba, filled in my shit,
Right.
and found one that looked decent.
Mm-hmm.
And, for $200, they made a prototype, and I need to order at least 100. So that's what I'm going to do.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay. Cool. 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 That's pretty awesome. I mean, that process with Alibaba, was it complicated, or were you just like,
No, not at all.
no?
I sent in a sketch from all angles of the
Mm,
character, and she, like the guy, sent in an invoice. Like, okay, this is what we're estimating,
right.
and a week later they sent me pictures of it, and I was like, holy crap, that looks one on one with my
Right.
sketch,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then it was very simple. Like they just sent it over. You can see it for yourself. There's a couple of things I want to change
Right.
um, that are going to be changed in the final result. But for the most part, it was exactly what I expected, and it was more than I expected. And yeah, now it's just waiting for the money to come in so I can order it.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. 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 No, that's because yeah, man. I mean, like I've done toys. I've done like, I'm wearing
T-shirts,
my
always
album,
T-shirts.
right? So we like I said, we we all love doing this stuff. So all right, cool. So let me ask you this: how did you end up in this comic book life? Like, what dragged you in? We might have covered this before, but I want to get into it a little bit more. So,
A very bad breakup.
uh,
Like in 2017, I had a wonderful girlfriend, and she was from the United States. And the guy who was supposed to take care of her visas and everything never submitted anything,
oh,
so she had to go back.
mm,
Um, and that just left me heartbroken.
right,
Um, and I just needed something to get out of it, and I just started drawing Sage and Sunset essentially. And yeah, at some point I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit my day job as a construction worker. I'm done with this. We're gonna go straight into comics, and I'm so glad that I did.
right.
Like every step of the way is amazing.
All right, cool. Now, obviously, you work in construction now, but I mean, did you ever have thoughts while you were working that job that you wanted to do comics?
Yes,
Yeah.
constantly.
Hmm.
Uh, it was just that at that point I just needed um, some escapism
Right.
that I knew I couldn't get out of the background and character concepts that I was usually commissioned for. So I just started on something big, way too big for me to handle,
Right.
which you don't realize until you start. Um, but yeah, like um, even from before starting on construction, I got my diplomas and everything in it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I was drawing, I was doing my thing. It was just that there wasn't the incentive to really start because I've been reading them all my life. I love them, and I
Right.
always wanted to. It's just the step of wanting to and getting it done.
Hmm.
And yeah, it it built it built itself up to get there.
Hmm. All right. Cool. So, aside from crowdfunding, right? Because that's how most of us are making our money these days. But I mean, but are you doing anything else? Like, do you have it like available on websites? Are you going to shows? Like, what are you doing?
I have my own website, fairysinets.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I try and get on as many shows as I can. People will start to recognize me, which is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like of course it's been quiet for the last 2 years, and crowdfunding has steadily been growing for me because of it. But I really miss the live shows, and that's where I had my first success as well. Like
Right.
yeah, I did amazingly on live shows.
Mm. Have you done any recently, like within the last 6 months or whatever?
I had three really small ones in September,
Okay,
and that is literally it. Uh,
gotcha. They
yeah,
loaded up in September and they were like, all right, well, forget the rest of the year.
yeah, no, literally. Like, I had like 12 scheduled, and only those three actually came through.
Mhm.
It was, and most of the time, especially the bigger ones, it was literally 1 week before, and the government would say, no, pull the plug, we're done.
Mhm.
We're going in
Yeah,
lockdown again. So we're going to
crazy.
see how we're going to do this year. But,
How know? So those three small shows, how'd you do? Did you do well?
I did really well. The first one, I was originally like, they were all in libraries.
Hmm.
And the first one I did, on the first day I was upstairs
Right.
and, all the way in the back because the organizer had a booth as well, which is the
Hmm.
stupidest thing you can do. And she gave herself, of course, a prime spot, which it really wasn't.
Right.
Then next day, a lot of people couldn't do both days, so we moved
Hmm.
some tables. I moved downstairs, and I ended up right across the entry. And from that point forward, like everybody walking in instantly went to me because they saw the funny little creatures behind
Right.
me,
Hmm.
and I sold like hotcakes.
Nice. Nice.
Then the second one was pretty decent too. That wasn't the biggest one, but there wasn't a like on Sundays. Sometimes shops are open, sometimes not.
Hmm.
And on the second one, they didn't have a shopping Sunday, so it wasn't as good. But the event itself was bigger, so more people. I still did decently. And the third one, I didn't sell live on Quora as at all, but I sold every single copy of The Sin Killer by Marvy.
Nice. Nice.
Like, okay, this works. We're gonna make a
Yeah.
full run of that too. Thank you.
Hmm.
So yeah, I did okay. Like I did about as good as I expected for this small a show.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, no, I got you. I mean, it's not like San Diego Comic Con or Angoulême. It's not
No,
right. You're not gonna have 100,000 people walking through.
no. If we had like 600, then it was a
Right.
lot. You
Gotcha.
know.
Yeah, yeah. We have
Um,
we have library shows out here. We're lucky if you see 70 people. You're lucky.
yeah.
They're so small, but on those 70 people, you might make some money that day.
Exactly. Like these are like usually they're free,
Hmm.
like, people
Right,
free of well, I didn't lose anything. Yeah, okay, I lost my hotel money, but you're gonna write that off anyway,
right.
So yeah, no, I did pretty okay. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, it's not the big shows, it's not Dutch Comic Con where you get like 80,000 people every day,
Hmm.
or Castle Fest where there's like 25,000 people on just the camping alone.
Right. Hmm.
And then you got the day people, so you get up to like 60, 70,000.
Wow.
And but yeah, no, I'm cool. It's you got to fun. You got to have fun doing it, and
Mhm.
especially the smaller shows. You have the time to talk to people. You have the time to um, explore. What other people are doing as well,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's always easygoing, and
Yeah.
that's what I like.
Uh,
I'm a pretty laid back dude, if I can say if I say so myself. Hey, Rich.
uh, what's up, Rich? I need English. What the hell is that, Millie?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm like, nah.
Exactly. What are you talking about, Rich? This guy. Actually, I gotta have Rich on. I've never interviewed him, so at some point I gotta bring him on too.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
you do.
um. So when it comes down to like we're gonna a little bit into process. Like, so when you're working with your writers, like how intensely are you working with them? Are you supplying plots to them and they're
No.
writing? No. Well,
I gave them the Google Doc with all the rules of Quora,
right.
and I just went, you know what? um, this is the world. These are the rules. This is my sandbox. Go and play around in it. You can think of anything you want, but keep in mind I am editing the things that don't make sense in the world.
Right.
And that's been so much fun because they came out. They came out of out at angles that I never would have thought of, in ways that just blew my mind. And yeah, like it's really easy going. It's fun on all sides. They really they got all the power. Like I'm only the editor on that, and yeah, they like it. I like it, and it's exactly what I asked from them. So, getting my money's worth.
Right. No, that's cool. I mean, okay, so obviously you're getting the scripts, so you're breaking them down. Like, and what are you looking for in that script? Like, they give you like panel? All right, because in the U.S., we're in the U.S. So I'm in the U.S. So we have these goofy ways of doing things. We either do a straight script, which is like scene 1, panel 1, 3/4 worm's eye, 6 panels per page, blah 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 blah. Or there's also the Marvel style where it's just like they'll loosely describe, a scene, and then you'll go in and just illustrate it. I mean, how are you guys working that?
There we go. This is a script. So
Gotcha.
we got, they don't tell you, like, okay, Kimberly likes to define which panel is horizontal. And,
right.
You can see my scribbles on it because this is the unedited version.
Right.
But, besides horizontal panels, like everything is just me filling out the pages the way I want them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Because yeah. I mean, whenever I write a script, I just write it's a hybrid between Marvel and DC style. So I'll just write out a scene, but I'll give you all of the dialogue, and I'll give you all the expressions on the characters' faces, what's going on all around. But I don't give like angles or anything like that. I'm like,
no,
just break it down however you want to do it.
No, Kimberly is a little more on that. She's a little more with this would be a POV. 90% of the people disagree, and I make something completely different. But hey, I'm the artist. Like, it's my decision too. It's my artistic freedom. But yeah, like they're pretty easy scripts. The writer for Infinite Guardian did have the movie type script,
right.
Which I usually reworked into panels and pages myself, simply because there was just so much going on in a single scene,
right,
that if I didn't break it down, I would be like, okay, this is like 60 pages. If we keep it like this, we got to cut this down, But yeah, no, like, and they know that they only have like 31 or 32 pages for Love and Korra, so they always try and keep themselves within that space.
Within that structure. I got you. Now, you said you're editing that other story, right? That you're going to be putting back up on Kickstarter. So how do you go about that process as editing? When you sit down, you read the script, like, are you sitting there saying change this, or are you going in actively and you're changing the dialogue or the scene structure? Like, how are you doing that?
I usually don't do much on the scene structure. It's mainly dialogue. This doesn't feel right. Like, this might have a different, like, this might work better if it flows like this. But I try and always make them suggestions. Usually Martin completely agrees with me and fixes it immediately. And then when the artist brings in the pencil pages, I'll be a lot more critical on that.
Right.
Yeah, at some point we had to reel him back in because he just made a page with dialogue that neither Martin and I knew about. And we were like, where did this come from?
Right.
And he's tried to do that a couple of times now, and we're like, no, keep to the
Mm,
script. We
right.
edited, like, this is working. Please
Mm,
contain yourself.
right. Right. That's funny. That's funny. Uh-huh. Well, it's funny. I was lettering a story of mine last night, right? And I noticed I do all my own lettering, right? But the artist, what they do, with this one artist I'm working with, he'll put in word balloons so he'll know where to position, so he knows what space he has to
Yeah.
work with, right, where he needs to focus. And he didn't he edited my line and he moved some words. I found it funny. I was just like, what? I was like, but it wasn't anything horrible. It was very, very minor. And I was just like, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, okay, that
Yeah.
works. All right, and it's, sometimes you just gotta like, yeah, okay. Listen, sometimes an extra set of eyes, it just helps out just a little bit more. You're like, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, I give you this one, buddy. And then it's all fine.
That is me the entire process of Love and Korra. Like,
Uh,
before I start sketching anything, like I'll put in the rough dialogue, and text bubbles, the way I want them, the way they read
mhm,
naturally and stuff like that.
right.
Um, but then I start sketching, and I even put in the rough sketch, and it's already okay. This has to go there and there, and then I start
Mhm,
actually penciling,
right.
and everything gets flipped around again. And then I get the work back from my colorist,
Right.
and everything moves around again.
hmm hmm Gotcha. Gotcha. Now your colorist is a technical question. When you get back your files, because it always burns me. It always burns me. So they tell me I hire a new person. I say, okay. They say, oh yeah, I'm a professional colorist. Okay, okay. And then I get the files back and they're RGB.
Ooh, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's easy to convert, right? And then now the as long as they don't use any goofy colors, it converts over just fine to CMYK. Do you seem to have that same issue, or is your guys just delivering a CMYK the way this was?
Well, my colorist and I both work in Clip Studio Paint, which can
Mhm.
only export to CMYK.
Oh, okay.
So you can't actively work in it. However, like, because I do the lettering afterwards anyway, like that's when I put in text
Mhm.
bubbles and everything, like,
Right.
because I sketch it anyway, like I know where they go. Um, she just sends them back as clip files so I can edit them and fix minor things here and there
Mm.
when I get them back. And then I export them as CMYK myself. And if something really needs to be changed or is too dark, I can do it on this side.
Right.
So for the most part, yeah, that's just another job I gave myself.
Right. Right. Gotcha. No, no, that's cool. That's cool. Now you said now I'm just curious because I mean you're running your current campaign on IGG, right? You're gonna run. Are you going to run any more Life on Coral on Kickstarter, or maybe like reoffer like your other
um,
issues, maybe on Kickstarter?
I might. Like, we did a Kickstarter for Love and Korra 3 originally, and it flopped really hard. But I might just do it for a trade paperback for Love and Korra instead.
Mhm.
So, you get the issues on Indiegogo where it seems to do really well.
Right.
But Kickstarter doesn't seem to be the audience that Love and Korra is catered to for some
Mhm.
reason.
Right.
Some things just do better on one or the other.
Right.
But yeah, well, I will probably do it for the trade paperback, so people, get get a bigger book with the same kind of stuff on it, and I'll
Right.
probably do that on both. You know,
At the same time, yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I'm. I'm heavily into Kickstarter. Always getting my ass kicked at IGG.
yeah,
But it's tough. It's tough. You got to bring
oh
your
yeah,
crowd. You got to bring your crowd, man, and it's not easy. If you don't have that right platform to push it on. So um, okay. Well, you were saying for this year you're looking to put out 5 issues of Life on Korra. Wow. So what's beyond that? Like, I mean, like, how much further do you plan on pushing this? You know.
until my writers run out of ideas. And by the looks of it, that's going to take a while.
It's gonna take a while. Nice.
Yeah, like my Kimberly is working on issues 9 and 10. So 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 are going to be double features, because they made stories that just wouldn't fit in a single issue, or it would feel really rushed. And I was like, okay, we can do double features, and then it's just going to take me a couple more months to draw it all, but I don't care. We're getting up to a point where, yeah, I can do small standalone graphic novels. Sure, I got the experience.
Right.
But yeah, like I want to draw those issues, and then whether we will crowdfund them in this year or not, that is completely dependent on how this year goes.
Right. Gotcha. Now I got a question for you, because I work with an artist, right, and she does comics in her country, Chile, and she told me something interesting. They actually get grants from the government to do artwork. I live in America, and we don't believe in supporting the arts, so we don't get any grants. If you don't make money on this stuff, forget about it. You're not going to do anything. But I was just wondering, in your country, are you open to this? No.
No. I have heard of people using a Dutch crowdfunding platform for the kunst, so literally for the arts.
Right.
And they have had grants through that, but I'm thinking of doing the trade paperback for La Van Cora in Dutch too. Translate it. And I might just put it up there as a crowdfunder, see how that goes. But yeah, like you can get support. You can get government support as a freelancer, but not as an artist.
Oh, okay.
And they're very, very picky on who they give it out, which is weird because I know a jewel smith who has been living off of it for like 20 years now, and has maybe done like 5 commissions in the past 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like, you lazy butt.
Right.
And here I am wasting away.
Right.
Well.
Well, he's working with, I guess, gold and diamonds, so everybody likes the sparklies, right? So
yeah,
he's like, look what I did. It took me 3 years.
Yeah, like no. These are just repairs and stuff. Like, we're not even talking making new jewelry by commission. No, this is literally just repairs and stuff.
Gotcha.
He just doesn't care. And I mean, I wouldn't either, because it's minimum wage you are getting. It's like 1,600 euros in a month.
Yeah,
that is a decent income here.
No, I got you. But yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can look deeper into that. See if you can get some money out of your country.
Yeah, probably not. I didn't even get the COVID support.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah, like that wasn't even like okay, I need to fill this in, and then I might get it. No, that was a straight up no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, nah, you can just just stay
here. Whatever, fuck you.
Yeah, they're like, starve, buddy.
Yeah, no, literally. Oh my god. Because the first 16 weeks after everything went in lockdown the first time, I didn't have any work in my side job either, because moving, everyone was going. The fear was in there, so nobody hired the movers anymore. My colleagues could just scrape by and have decent, barely workable days.
Yeah,
not us. I just sat at home while making comics.
Right.
So there went my savings.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, look, we've been at this. It's going the usual pattern. We've been at this for a little bit, right? So we're not done just yet, though. I got my goofy question to ask you next. But before we go to that, though, please let everybody know where they can find you and your work, Mike.
So you can find Love and Korra issue 5 Tiny Travels on Indiegogo. You can find me at and_ends on Twitter, or of course Fairies and Ends on Facebook, Instagram, and all the other stuff. Don't look for me on Instagram. I'm not active there, but we do have it. And yeah, just hit me up. Mike Jimmy. Usually you will find me. And be sure to check out Love and Korra because we love what we make, and we have a lot of people that love it with us. So that should tell you enough on what kind of quality you're getting.
Look at this. Here we go. Hey, JD, see you later. I'm at work. Everybody's at work.
Why are you at work?
Well, yeah, well, he's in Canada, so yeah, he's in the same time zone, I think, as I am. So everybody's at work. It just today happens to be my day off. I get off every other Friday, so.
Oh, lucky bastard.
Yeah. So all right, cool. So I think I've asked you these questions before. I'm gonna ask them again though, but I'm gonna hopefully phrase it a little differently. So I know one of my typical questions is if you got to have your favorite artist, living, dead, doesn't matter. Don't worry about the budget. You got them to, they can do a cover for you, right? That's the initial question, right? That's the original question, right? So listen, give me artists number 2 and 3. If you couldn't get the best guy, who
Oh,
like,
oh, that is evil.
who are your B and C guys?
Okay, let me look up names right now. Hold on. Okay, got that one. And oh yeah, he is so good. Oh, all right. So first off, the guy who made the Schneekle, which is a standalone graphic novel by 2 Frenchmen. Let me actually show. Because he is one hell of an influence for me.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. That is.
And that is fun.
Why don't I have that here?
Oh, it's in English. You can get it in English.
You know which company is it? Is it through NBM?
It's Casterman in the Netherlands.
Right.
I will find it for you. You
Okay,
will love this book. It's worth it. And then
look, we got Marvy up here. He's saying greetings, sinners. And I was just gonna say, listen, Marvy, I have not sinned today. All right, but it's coming though. It's later.
I was about to say, like, work it out.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still early for me. I just woke up.
And then I have the artist for Nathaniel.
Nice.
Who does a wonderful color straight over pencils art. And hold on, because this is really awesome 60s kind of sci-fi,
right?
You know, the retro sci-fi.
Nice. Yeah, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, European stuff, like you can't beat it for me.
No.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And that is by Dark Dragon, by the way, so you should be able to get it.
What's it called?
Nathaniel. There's the name.
Nathaniel. Okay. Cool. Send me some links, man. I gotta hunt them down. You know, because I never I get Topi, right? I get I just had now I'm blanking. Well, Mobius is always over here, right? What else? And then I get a smattering. I don't get a lot, but I do get some. So it's like, but it never feels like enough.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And we are used to graphic novels. Our right. Normal size is like oversized 48 pages.
Yeah.
And like that is so great.
No, it really is.
Story stands alone.
Yeah.
Okay, not enough for now. To be fair, that is, I think, a three-parter, but
Mhm.
close enough.
Right.
Uh, and I think it's like 80 pages. Like
Mhm.
it's big. Um, and yeah, like that is Franco-Belgian comics for you.
No, no, I got you, man. I got you. Like I said, when we went to Paris, Daphne came out with a stack of books. You know, I was like, oh, good. Now I get to carry it back home. Thanks. But, yeah, really cool.
In the bag it goes. Thank
All right.
you.
So, all right, now back to those questions, those crazy questions. Now, who? And I'm pretty sure I asked you. So we're gonna go with the same framework. We asked you, who would you want to write a story for you for Life of Core, right? I guess that would be the original question. So who would be your B and C guys? If you had to choose two guys to write stories for you, who or ladies, who would you choose?
So I think originally I said Hoskini as number one,
Mm-hmm.
who writes Asterix, who wrote Asterix. He wrote 5 issues and then he passed away sadly. But wow, yeah, that is a very good one. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
I would love the writer of Storm, and
Mm-hmm.
then Willy van der Steen, who is a Dutch writer who does Siske and Wiske, because both are um, incredible at standalone stories um, that that Love and Korra pretty much is based on.
Right.
Got the same kind of characters, the same kind of story, told in a different way, with a different setup every single time, and yeah, that is just those are just big, really big inspirations for me, and I would love to get something like that from them.
No, that's really cool. You should reach. I don't know. Well, you said one gentleman passed. If the other two guys are still around, you should just reach out to them. Say, hey, man, write a story for me.
Sadly, no. Like it's a dying breed,
Oh, gotcha,
especially
gotcha.
the good ones. Like the legendary ones are well passed away.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
good ones, yeah, they're starting to dwindle as well.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's always never fun. Yeah, when you see your heroes go,
Yeah.
that's life. The only thing we can do is remember them and remember them fondly. You know,
Oh yeah.
and don't let people forget. So, all right, so let's move on to some of these comparatives. Well, I don't know. We'll change it up a little bit because we were talking before we got on air. We were talking about anime and manga. So I'll ask you this comparative: anime or manga?
Manga.
Okay, okay. Why manga over anime?
Um, because usually you get a lot more out of the manga than you get out of the anime, even
Mm,
though they usually like most animes follow the manga very closely.
right.
Um, but a lot of anime are just OVAs,
Mm,
where you get like 14 episodes of 20 to 30 minutes, and their own storyline. So they start the same as the manga, but then they divert and make their own thing so they can close down the story.
mm,
And yeah, there's something to the longer format that they got there.
mm,
While I'm not a big fan of it as a whole, I
right.
like my stories, beginning, middle, end, where I know where it's kind of going. It's gonna have its plot twists and everything, and probably some side plots. It's manga,
Mhm.
but yeah, you usually know it's gonna end before chapter 300.
Right, right. For some of it, yeah, yeah. If you're not Naruto and what's that One
And
Piece,
Naruto, One Piece, Bleach,
right?
Boku no Hero Academia. Right
Hmm.
now, what was the other? Attack on Titan.
Hmm.
Like these are big stories. They're
Yeah,
good, but they're big.
yeah. But I think Attack on Titan's finishing, right? Are they ending that one?
I'm not sure. I haven't kept
No.
up. Like it's been 5 years since I read any manga.
Gotcha. So here's something. I got a couple of old school ones here. So we'll see if you're familiar with these. We're gonna go anime and then manga because they both have both, right? So
Mhm.
Akira or Nausicaa.
I haven't seen either.
Oh, okay. Because
Sorry,
they're
mate.
also no, that's fine. Because they're also because they have manga and you know
Yeah.
the animes for both. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you ever get a chance to read either one or watch the what is it? Or if you get a chance to either read the manga or watch the anime, I would suggest either one because they're both fantastic films and they're
Yeah,
both
no,
great manga.
they're on my list, but free time is like zero.
No, no, I got you. I got you. He says Attack on Titan is finishing manga and anime. Okay, there you go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I might just jump back into it then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Finish it.
we were talking about like old school um anime, right? Like I was mentioning, like I finished watching Cowboy Bebop, right? So like, did you watch the entirety of Cowboy Bebop?
Um, I think I watched a couple of episodes. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
otherwise, I find it on Watch Cartoon Online because I'm a cheap
Right.
bastard. Um,
That's like a lot of people.
yeah,
So
I think I just didn't finish it.
right,
Um,
right.
because yeah.
Here's a better one for you. What is your favorite anime?
Ooh, I gotta say Helsing Ultimate.
Hmm.
It's an OVA,
Right,
but with 14 episodes that are 50 minutes long, it's a big watch.
right,
But
right.
man, it's good.
Mm, gotcha. Okay. Now, why do you enjoy? Why did you enjoy that one so much?
Um, it's it goes very deep into the characters
Hmm.
while while still having so much action, so much um, yeah, just there's a lot in there that um, just keeps you watching. Like you want to know exactly when what is going to happen next, even if you've seen it 1,000 times, because it's just that good at keeping you going.
Right. Gotcha. Now, what's your favorite manga?
The original Devilman.
Really? Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Shared with 666 Satan.
Hmm. Gotcha.
There is a theme here,
Uh-huh.
but seriously, 666 Satan is a finished manga from I think the early 80s to early 90s,
Hmm.
and it's about 100 chapters,
Okay.
but it really, really makes you feel for the characters and everything they go through, and it's a really strong story. I think in America they changed it to Opart Hunter,
Hmm.
because 666 in Christian America, yeah, no. Um,
It
but
would do well.
that is definitely worth the read. It goes a lot deeper than the name implies.
Mhm. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Um, yeah. Okay. Let's end with damn. I don't even know where to go from that one. As far as like where to take it. I mean, all right. So like I watched growing up, I guess in the '90s, a lot of movies that were anime, right? Do
Yeah.
you remember any that you enjoyed, like that you really like were standouts for you?
Um, we didn't get that many movies on television. But if there's a series that really stood out for me when I was a kid, it's Shinzo. And
Okay.
it's a very obscure one. It aired on Fox Kids.
Okay.
UK and European. But it is in English.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, that was one of the few shows that actually had a death count in it
Right.
for
Right.
6 to 12-year-old kids. Just go. Go
Right,
on, same kind of level as Squad Cats.
right.
You know, and yeah, that was a really strong story. Confusing as times as a kid because it has two separate storylines
mm,
that go completely different ways but end the same way.
right.
So one episode you will see one storyline, and the next one you get the other one, and you're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Mm-hmm.
But
Got
once I watched it back as an adult and could actually binge it and download it, wow,
mm,
that was one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen in my life.
cool. Now, all right. Da-da-da. Got Genuine Comics. Is it hello JD? Hello Mike. Hello chat. So I here we'll end it on this. Um, what is the thing that's coming out, or I don't know if for you it might be monthly, weekly, bi-monthly, who knows? What's that thing that comes out that you most look forward to, like that you like? Doesn't matter on the day it drops, you're like, yeah, I'm there, and I'm gonna watch that or read that or get that, buy that. What is that?
Now it is your stuff,
Oh,
together with Daphne's.
thank you.
The Genuine Comics with Perfect 10 is definitely on that list.
Mm,
Yeah, I went very hard on the indie comics the last 2 years, and I'm not disappointed.
nice. Good.
Um, and yeah, there's a couple of graphic novels by some Dutch indie creators that I really enjoy. But yeah, like right now, I'm just mainly looking for new stuff, like the go-to ones that I used to have, like Asterix and Lucky Luke.
Right.
They just, yeah, the original creators died, and you can feel that the series
Right.
doesn't hold up to its predecessor. I'm
Hmm.
not saying bad, but they're bad.
Right.
You
No,
know,
I
the
got.
art went up, the stories really went down.
Mm,
Um, yeah, like so I'm just trying to fill the gap, and independent comics really filled it for me.
cool.
Um, and yeah, like Nafanel is from 2020, and really blew me away with art and story, and is really new. Um, and yeah, it's just really looking at um, they're doing a good job, but no, 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 no.
It
Look,
doesn't compare to the original.
no, it really doesn't. Like
Hmm.
the art is beautiful. I adore the artist, but the story goes nowhere, and that has been that way for the last 5 issues, and it's just
Mm.
no, it doesn't do it for me anymore.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just rolls that way. I guess maybe I mean, who knows? The writer just might be afraid to change anything.
Yeah, no,
Like
I think that's it.
he might
It
be so deferential to the original that he's just like,
Yeah,
I don't really want to mess with it too much, because it's history. Like it for certain people, they're not gonna want to like any kind of change. You know what I mean? So he's
yes,
probably just doing middle of the road stuff. He's just like, all right, let me play it safe. You know, let me rehash these few plots that they've done and that everybody likes, and I'm like, all right, we'll play in that sphere. So yeah, and you got to, as a writer, you got to be careful when you do that sort of thing, because if you don't do it correctly,
of course.
up with you're gonna end up with like whatever. you know so yeah, it's
So we got a very long-lasting comic in the Netherlands, Suske and Wiske, and that's been going on for over 75 years now.
wow, okay.
And they do like 2 albums a month of 48
Oh,
pages. Yeah,
mm,
it's insane. It's a simpler style, so it doesn't take too long.
right.
But I think at some point they got a new artist
Mm,
and they modernized the looks of everything. Viska, who is a girl who
mm,
always runs around with a doll, suddenly
okay.
had boobs. The
Right,
outrage they got.
right.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It-
She's
yeah.
8. Why does she have boobs?
Essentially, yeah, but like they're undefined in their age. They just,
Mm, Right.
They just have to move forward with the times, and I'm very okay with that. I actually like it. I haven't bought the last few albums, but they look interesting. They look fun. But yeah, it's those little things where I'm going, guys, come on, really?
Yeah, there you go. Jimmy says, I don't think European comics know what woke is.
Oh no, we know what woke is. It just hasn't caught on yet because it doesn't sell.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll stay that way for you guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. The day of the creator will come back where you just do whatever you want. That will. So it's cyclical. It goes back and forth. It's gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
All right, Mike. We done it. We made it to the end. So.
Oh yeah, we made an hour.
Yeah. Mike, please let everybody know where they can find you and your work, sir.
Love4Quarter5 on Indiegogo, at @and_ends on Twitter and Facebook, as well as my website as Fairies and Ends.
All right, there you go. So people, please go check out Life Hardcore #5. Go pick up that plush toy because it's awesome, right? And thank you so much for being here. I'll be back soon. I will probably have 2 interviews sometime next week. I got my Sunday show talking with Indy Comics on Sunday. Mike, if you're ever available, let me know. But I know it's like 3 a.m. for you.
Yeah, it's really late, and I adore my sleep. I got
exactly. Yeah, you need to sleep. So
yeah, I've done a couple of midnight shows in the past couple of weeks. To promote Love4Quarter.
Right.
I'm so dead.
No, I could imagine. Yeah, I mean, if I was asked to be on a show at 3 a.m, I'd be like, okay, we'll see. All right, so thank you, everybody. My name is JD Calderon. Please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, and I'll be talking to you all soon. Have a good night or a good day.